alone.
Funky.
Yeah. Ce soir, soirée Saboteur. Hello, good evening, good night. Can you tell us who are you and what do you do?
My name is Christopher Hunt, and I'm the art director on Saboteur. I work for Pandemic Studios.
The Saboteur is a game takes place in Paris. Did you came before in Paris to visit the city, or you just look some picture, video about the?
Actually, when we were developing Saboteur, we had the opportunity to come and visit Paris and do a research trip. We stayed for about a week. We took, thousands of photos, scores and hours of video reference, gathered lots of other material that we weren't able to gather in Los Angeles, and just had an opportunity to really see what we've been looking at before, but knowing being able to see, okay, how all the elements we were researching before connect. And it was invaluable to be able to see the city 360, experience it, smell it, taste it. It was fantastic, and it was something that was invaluable for our development of the game.
Okay. During the game, all the city is in black and white. After there are more colors. Black and white because you have a look since city before, or it just it's for another thing.
Well, the black and white as opposed to color is actually it's a style choice, but it's also ties very closely to the game mechanics. So you see the city in black and white for parts of the game, and others you see it in color. They coexist at the same time, and a lot of it is based on the inspiration of your actions and other sets of mechanics. But we wanted to make sure that those two styles coincided together. But also, especially with the black and white, we wanted to harken that back to, it feeling like, way back in the 1940s or whatever. You have old movies, you have film noir movies, you have Casablanca, you have everyone's impression of what World War II is, and that really never been done before. Most games follow a particular style set by other films, and everyone does that. But that wasn't something we were interested in. We wanted to do something new, we wanted to do something fresh. And not just with Low World of Fight, where it not only represents black and white in older films to set you back in the genre, but it represents the occupation, the Nazi occupation of Paris. So it definitely carries certain emotional tones along with it that you see, and it's not just the look of it; it's other things that go along with it that happen within the World of Fight. You see and hear Nazi propaganda. You see much more of a Nazi presence. You see kind of a cultural occupation of assimilation. On the flip side of that, the High World of Fight, it's also stylized. You didn't want to have something where it's real world and then have a very, very stylized black and white look for Low World of Fight. We wanted to incorporate as much style as we could to High World of Fight, so in contrast to that, it works with it and complements it, but doesn't take away, and one doesn't overpower the other. So.
We can look some artwork of the game. What is the hard thing you must do? The hardest choice of the game, about the level design, character design?
Well, actually, there's a funny thing that we decided on very early on, which is, okay, we have pretty accurate records of what that era looked like, but what could it have looked like? Now, we didn't want to go too far into the fantasy, but we did definitely push the envelope and add fantastic elements that weren't something that was impossible, but rather plausible. So you'll see race cars that will have somewhat of a modern take on them, and it wasn't impossible. It could have been built at that time period. It just wasn't for various reasons. We had Zeppelins in World War II, which they were around, but they weren't used for the purposes that we end up using them for in the game. So you see different hints of things that are stylized choices, just again kind of separated from the pack, because many other games are very cookie cutter, have cookie cutter realism, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're going to do something again a little different. We're already pushing the art style. We're already centering in Paris and not the beaches of some faraway land. We have a different kind of character, so it just falls in line with a lot of the stylistic choices that we came upon early on for the game. So we just wanted to make it consistent.
We saw some artwork about the girls. It's because you love Moulin Rouge?
Well, actually, it's I love Moulin Rouge. Yes, it's fantastic. However, that was something that was a part of the era. It's a part of something that's it's not even a part of the era. It's a part of Paris in general for well over 100 years. So it's something we wanted to showcase in the game, not on its own. It's not tacked on, after the fact. It's something that really happens. It's something that the player experiences. It's something that different characters in the world experience. It's something you see. It's something you interact with. So it's not a gimmick at all. It's a part of the natural cityscape. So that's why we have it. The same way we have monuments, the same way we have unique streets and a lot of architecture and sculptures and things like that are prevalent all over the city. So.
During the game, have you made some surprise or some Easter eggs about your last project in the level design, character design?
There are Easter eggs for sure. You'll have a good time finding out what those are. But it becomes a touchy area if you incorporate stuff from other games, even though everyone wants to. There's some recently I had to take out, but there's still plenty of other things that are in there that'll be very interesting for any player to find. So quite fun.
Okay, but thank you very much, and let's go to play Saboteur in December for us. Okay. Have a nice day in Paris.